and Go.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Back for another impromptu episode, right? Y'all know Chief be on the go. Um, I'm Chief, your host, Chiefy Dog, Chiefism, Chief Dizzle for Shizzle for Sheezy for show. And I have a very special surprise guest today. A guy I got a lot of respect for. I'll give you a little backstory. In high school, I started with a band called Potential. They had a band called Progression. Jeff Bugsby was the drummer, one of the first drummers to kind of take me under his wing and show me some stuff and show me how it was done. And so as youngins, we were watching them, taking notes and learning from them through the connect with Kim Evans and I believe Dwight. And then I met Kenny later when Shaquan wasn't showing up. Kenny would come in and we instantly had a lock. First night, no practice. From there, I went on to play with Soul Patrol Prop Utensils with Kenny, Kenny, Kenny Koonga, y'all. I don't know if y'all know, but y'all gonna find out today. So we played with Prop. I was there for a short period, and then we did Soul Patrol we shared the stage for a good minute. Guy I got a lot of respect for, a lot of love for. My man Kenny Martín, Kenny Koonga.
Hey, what's up, Chief? How you doing?
Hey, man, and I'm in here, man. I'm out here. I'm outside. I'm ripping and running. I'm getting it done.
Hey, listen, man. I appreciate the intro. I got a lot of respect for you too, man. We did some great stuff back in the day. Filling in with the Huckabucks was an honor, and with the beats that Saquon laid down, I really dug those beats. So I was able to get in there and rock with you, and then the stuff that we did with Soul Patrol and that was great, man. Some of those nights felt like we were just floating on a cloud, maybe literally.
Yeah, both literally and figuratively.
and it was just a great time, man. A lot of talks with you in the car, listening to music in between those 3 sets.
Yep. I was talking about it last week. Boris came through, Scooter's brother, right? Yeah. And I talked about all that. Yeah, the 3 sets and the cloud in the middle, and Tidy and Dave got the big grape soda, right? Yeah, we had the big Newport, right? And
absolutely.
Yeah, man, it was a great time, amazing nights. We done been to Philly, we done been on the road. So yeah, we shared the stage, made a lot of people dance and gave up a lot of energy together in that syncopation. So definitely, I don't know why you ain't been on here, but I be on the go. We'll be trying to figure it all out and call audibles and juggle this and that. But we are here today, unfortunately, because our soul brother, who Kenny made me realize the dopeness of this guy in those conversations in the car. Of course, I know Brown Sugar, You're My Lady. I'm hip. I believe 95, I'm finding out 30 years, like Huckabucks. Our first Georgia Avenue day with the white flavor 1580 shirts on, D'Angelo, Man, Us, and Essence was the lineup I remember, And so a connection to this brother, he in VA, he not far down the road. He not far from us culturally, musically, soulfully, in the funk. So it just it hits home, right? And the age, right? These people going out of here at my age, and I'm still partying like a rock star, Kenny. So it's scary. And it's sad. I mean, you feel like you lose somebody. Pac hit me hard and D hit me hard. But it was you and Dynamite D who kind of made me pay attention and listen. And this one Voodoo dropped.
Yeah.
And we went to the show in New Jersey. You had me. I went to the show because of that, seen them live. Soultronics, Lucy Pearl opened up, and I ain't never been the same.
Yeah. That's it right there, man. It was 95 where it all changed. The Brown Sugar album came out, and I was oh man.
It's all good.
We good? Hey, I was I gotta block these kids, man. But anyway,
I need to do the same thing. Focus. Yeah, sometimes you got to go out and come back in.
All right, hold on a second.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Uh,
It seems like when a call come through, it sometimes it'll freeze it or mess up the audio because you still froze. But if you probably go out and come back in, if you can hear me. Oh, wait a minute. There you go. Uh-oh. Get this guy out of here.
let's see if I can get back.
Yeah. Yeah, you in there, baby.
Can you hear me, Chief?
Yeah. Yeah, can you hear me? You good? You can't hear? Dang, I hear you. Oh, he might not have let you might not let your mic come through.
I'm
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, yeah. 95 brown sugar. Change the
95.
game.
Change the game, man. Get right back to it. That was riding on maybe 202 and Easy Street was on the radio, and he played Brown Sugar, um, and then he mentioned that this young brother D'Angelo was playing most of the instruments on the album.
Mm-hmm.
And when I heard Brown Sugar, I immediately made a U-turn and went to the record store in Landover Mall. I don't know, I forgot what it was. I don't know if that was Kent Mills
Kemp, Sam Goody,
or
one of them.
what.
Yeah, maybe Kemp Mill. Dang.
Sam Goody, something. So I ran over there, man, got the CD, and was just like, what is this? What's happening? Um, fast forward, kind of studying the music a little bit there. And I just want to take you um, shortly thereafter, D'Angelo was performing at the Bayou Club in Georgetown, which is no longer there. I think it shut down in about maybe 1999. But in 95, $10 concert.
Wow.
And let me take you back. I had a gig that night with Proper Utensils. We were playing at Trade Winds. So I knew I wanted to go see D'Angelo. And so I went and set up all my drums at Trade Winds, and then connected with my man, Dynamite D. And
Dynamite.
Yep. And who is the biggest connoisseur of music that I know. Like, he
Facts.
knows every year, every song came out. He knows who's playing instruments on everything. So he's super influential to me. But so we go to see D'Angelo, man, at the Bayou, and it was just amazing to see, what D'Angelo did on that stage and the soul that was coming from that stage, and to see him doing, Can't Hide Love, by Earth, Wind and Fire, you
Right.
know, and Sweet Sticky Thing, Ohio Players, not to mention his records.
Mhm.
Amazing to see him kind of cover those tunes and how funky they were. Not to mention Angie Stone was on stage too. Angie
That
Stone.
part.
See that part, right? So Chief, if I just could share with you, man, after that show, me and Dion are just sitting there like, what did we just witness? What did we just see? And what did we just hear? And it was a hard left turn, because all I ever wanted to do, Chief, was be in a go-go band. That's it.
Right.
I ain't
Right.
I ain't got no other aspirations to do nothing. I want to be in a go-go band after seeing Junkyard at Wild World, but that's a whole nother. We'll talk about that later. Um, but yeah, man, we're about to go to my show, and honestly, I looked at Dion and I was like I don't know, like I don't I don't know if I can go do this show right now.
Right.
That's how powerful it was to see
Right.
D'Angelo then. I didn't know if I could bring myself to go to my gig. I wanted
Right.
to immediately, right there, start chasing that.
Evolve. I want to evolve.
Whatever,
I want whatever that is. I want to
whatever
be there.
that was,
This
I
bop
wanted,
bop ain't it.
yeah. So I went, I went and did my show, and it was a great, great show. Shout out to Funk and RIP to Benny. It was all good. But from that day, every time I was playing my drums, something was telling me that there was more out there for me to try to evolve as a percussionist. Because back then I was just a congo player. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
And when I saw that, it sparked something in me to want to kind of see what else was out there. I started bringing the bongos to my conga setup, and I started trying to bring chimes, and
Let
I
me
just,
say this. Let me
yeah,
interject. Right. So
yeah,
this
yeah,
guy, Congo players, right? That's what we call him in Gogo. You're a Congo player.
yeah,
He's the first guy I saw that was a percussionist,
yeah,
right? Frankie Knuckles, or it's
yeah,
plenty of Steely E. Kenny
yeah,
had a whole stand with the cymbals, the chimes, and a tray with
yep.
kabasas and instruments. I would hear percussion instruments, but I didn't even never know it was a percussion instrument
The
or the
electronic pad too, the pad.
band had the SPD, one of
Yeah,
the first people, and we didn't have a keyboard, so Kenny was pulling up them horn hits on the DMX song and the chimes and the bells and like you said, the bongos and the two big matadors or
yeah,
two big
yeah,
joints, because at that time they weren't even letting you bring the junior LPs because they go wasn't really popping in them spots you need to have with your dress shoes, the
yeah,
grown and 50 era basically, which we ushered in. But yeah, I
yep,
was along for that ride, and I remember
yeah,
that opened my mind to that too, and
yeah,
just how you
yeah,
were playing right with the shaker and the pop,
yeah,
the boo boo, and you showed
yeah.
me all the Latin hand movements. So my guy right here, y'all, Kenny Koonga got on a Cheef and Go. But my bad, I didn't mean to cut you off. So
It's,
basically, he changed your whole, and that's the test or that says a lot about an artist when one performance
yeah,
changes your perspective on music, your
yeah,
goals, right?
yeah,
Just how you see it in general. That's amazing. And then
yeah,
you passed it on, to other
yeah.
people. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. Yeah, there was just a big change there, man. And I started to pull out a VHS tape on how to actually play the conga drums, because we just play a lot of open tones and go-go, So, I studied these 10 beats. I started to try to figure out, I learned one code,
Mhm.
um, and some samba patterns and clave. And I was just getting into that, and I credit D'Angelo with that, man. He just seeing that opened my eyes that there was more out there for me. And it was a gift and a curse for me, Chiefy. Because I chased as a percussionist, I kind of chased, being a percussionist, and in some ways, you know, didn't I found it challenging to keep doing go-go every night and still try to chase being this percussionist.
Mhm.
I never really figured it out. I figured it out now, but I never figured it out back then as I was on my journey to trying to be a percussionist, and how can I play with D'Angelo one day and
Right.
still rocking out with the go-go band. It was kind of hard to be in both of those spots. It took me a while to kind of out that they're just two different things. And I was trying to bring my percussionist into the
Mhm.
go-go lane. And it was, it was a little challenging. I just didn't know how to do that.
Yeah.
So, it took me a little while to kind of figure that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand that completely. Like with velocity and with the Latin and other musics, it's more toned and more, go-go, like you say, is a lot of it ain't a lot of intricacies.
Yeah.
Like you said, velocity, loud, soft, when to do what, when, how. And
Yeah.
if you coming from that hard, like the height, like I used to lift my leg. blues. And why you lifting your knee up? You know, your foot supposed to stay on that pedal. But I was trying to play drums late and Buggy and Jeff and them, you know what I'm saying, trying to play harder, and my leg wasn't built up. So I had to make that transformation to keep my foot. And that took me to stop playing hype 90s go-go and play with Soul Patrol and sit with my sock and be able to really get that in. And it still took a while to be able to incorporate both, like paradiddles and stuff. You know, little stuff I used to go through because I was just you know, Michael Jackson. Rick was like, it was a paradiddle, and I'm like, tut, 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 tut. You know, just that. The touch of everything, right? Man, but that's awesome, man. So like I said, I never forget that show I seen, the Soultronics. You know, them seeing Quest. And they was just jamming, and he just, you know, and I just never seen him live. You just know D'Angelo, I mean, you know, Lady and all that, you know, sit behind the organ. I never seen him rocking out like funk, like you see the P-Funk, you see the James Brown, you see the Prince. Man, and it was, and Lil Jon happened to, they opened up with Lucy Pearl and Raphael and Don, you know, so just that whole show was like, man. I had you and your sister them. You said I took my sister. I said we going up here and D.
Yeah, man, that was a great trip, man. Atlantic City, you know, a bunch of us drove up, and you know, D'Angelo is a mythical creature to me, man. He doesn't seem like a real person to me. But we're up there for that show in Atlantic City that you referenced. And we watched Lucy Pearl and Raphael. Shout out Raphael for his contributions to music, you know, but also the stuff that he's done with D'Angelo, including Lady, you know. So anyway, we're there, and Uncle Walt, the Wizard Williams, he knew Raphael Sadiq from when Walt was playing for the Sacramento Kings. So Raphael Sadiq is like, hey, Walt, you in the audience? Why don't you guys come on backstage, right? So Raphael Sadiq comes to get me, Uncle Walt, and Dion. He takes us backstage, man. The lights go dark. D'Angelo's about to come out, and I'm looking for him, man. I don't have no cut for D'Angelo. And man, when I saw him come on that stage, I must have scared the living daylights out of that dude, because he walked up on me and I saw him and I was like, D'Angelo. And he looked at me and he jumped, because, you know, really backstage, I'm sure everybody back there is chilling. This is what they do, not me. I turned straight fanboy, scared the living daylights out of him, man. But it was just a great night that night, watching them perform. You know, it was just been a great journey, man. Following D'Angelo, and you know, from the first album to Voodoo, and just the musicians that he was using, to seeing Anthony Hamilton on stage and not knowing who that was, but listening and saying, hey, who's that guy? Right? That guy got a very distinct voice, you know? And I'm like, who's that guy? And we following him, we paying attention. Oh, his name is Anthony Hamilton. A couple years later, you know, Anthony Hamilton drops coming from where I'm from. You know, I think on So Def with Jermaine Dupri. And you follow that and you look up another time and you see Shelby Johnson, who was rocking out with D'Angelo. Next thing you know, she's rocking out with Prince at the Super Bowl. You know, not to mention Questlove and all the guys, man. It's just, you know, it's just been so inspirational to kind of follow D'Angelo over these years, man. It's just been great.
Yeah, that's cool. But I was about to ask you, did you ever meet him? And now I'm kind of refreshed to that story, right? I was like, I couldn't remember. But that kind of reminded me of the Sally, the Sally Richardson story too.
I don't know if we can talk about that one. But yeah, man. I was gonna tell you something, man. It's just as far as you know, just the musicality and And what D'Angelo was doing, me and Dynamite D, we, since 1995, we have been trying to tell anyone who would listen how bad this guy was, how amazing D'Angelo was. Some people got it, but a lot of people didn't. And, people would talk about, they would be at the New Orleans Jazz Fest, and we like, make sure you check out D'Angelo. And they were like, man, they walked out. People just didn't get it, Chiefy.
Yeah, they did.
They didn't get it. And it just kind of brings me to this point. I'm right now with his passing, feeling for his son and Angie Stone and his family. But there's another part of me, man, that's feeling a incredible amount of joy from, you're talking about, I'm on social media, I'm on my TikTok and my Instagram. Every now and then I see a D'Angelo video or something, right? But for my algorithms to have completely taken over, and I'm seeing D'Angelo every other post this week on my timeline, this it's been amazing. And in a weird way, it's passing, but now it's all coming in, and he getting his flowers. Everybody's seeing it. I'm seeing I've never seen before when he was a kid. I'm seeing photos of him with people. I ain't never seen this many photos of D'Angelo. Like D'Angelo seemed to be a hidden mythical creature who puts out an album, every 5 years or every 15.
Right.
And to see this now, and see all these performances, some that I hadn't seen before, and people posting, it's been just a weird, joyous celebration of and it just comes full circle of trying to convince everybody of this guy's greatness to now seeing everybody, acknowledge his greatness. It's just been an interesting week, man. Interesting.
Yeah, and that's the curse of most artists are misunderstood. I don't want to say misunderstood, but the curse of an artist before their time, right? Yeah. It's not popular, and they stood for something different. He wanted to revolutionize music, to change the game with his sound, and it's like the Questlove with Palladino is very good. They talk about some stories, and I don't know if you saw that, but the voodoo, they call it the voodoo curse. Now, anything you're doing after voodoo, he's talking to Palladino, because it was such a sound, and they describe behind the beat and all these things. But for artists, at the time when Tupac was alive, we liked him. I knew Brenda's Had a Baby, Me Against the World. My father actually gave me that tape, so we bumping them. But when you die, especially young like him, sometimes as artists, of course, like artwork, it appreciates, right? But sometimes that it take you to get your flowers then. And look how many years later, but like you said, especially even with the gaps, and that might have caused the, not so much getting attention, but it was just raw. It was soulful. It wasn't for everybody that's used to listening to, it was just different. Sly Stone, all these influences he had, but they were talking about the How Does It Feel, the Untitled, and how he didn't want to do it and he didn't like it, and then that became, they screaming his name and take your shirt off, and that sent him in the hiding again, like you coming backstage. He's like, hold up, because that's not what I want to be remembered for.
Right.
But I think it was a necessary evil because it did more attention. But you ask a girl or younger girl, most women, they gonna know that.
They know that one
song. He could play all instruments, jam out in the soul brother that he was, But that's just unfortunate about artists and dying. But it's like you said, it's a bittersweet thing.
Yeah.
If his affairs in order, then what he 3 kids, 2 sons, 2 daughters and a son or something, and that's sad that Angie, we just lost Angie. Now he, but and so hopefully, like I said, his legacy, of course, will live on. That's the beauty of being a musician, especially popular, right? Even if they catch on later, your legacy, that soul lives on, and it's coming out in our music, and then inspire generations to come, and that's why we do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's why I wanted to do this too, because I was like, I want no guest. I'm gonna talk about D'Angelo
Yeah.
because he just had a lot of influence and
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
impact on the culture and
Yeah,
just
man.
revolutionized the music.
And shout out to Angie Stone. I got the chance to I was playing with my group Sound of the City with Biscuit and Ice and Vaughn and those guys and Precious. We got a chance to perform with her at 14th and Park. And until this day, man, you know, she was amazing. Like she came into that sound check and guided us through them songs in the most professional way, that it was incredible how professional she was, how she knew what she wanted, how she was able to convey to us what she wanted.
Mm.
And it was special, man, performing with her too, man. So shout out to Angie Stone too, man. She was such a professional. Um, I'll tell you, man, we're going through sound check and she said, "Hey, if we landed in, you know, if we were in Puerto Rico or we landed in Puerto Rico, how would the music sound?" And the band,
Wow.
we went into this little Latin thing or something, and then she said, "All right, the plane is lifting off, and we just landed in Jamaica. How would
Wow.
it sound?" And then, all the musicians, all right, we know what that sound like, and we go into some reggae rhythms, right? So, we went a couple places and this was in sound check. And then she said, "Now what if that plane, listen to me, Chief." She said, "What if that plane went up and that plane landed in DC? What would it sound like?" Oh Lord. I mean, we went clock clockadoom, you know. We went, and it was amazing, man, to watch her do that with us. And then and how it came off in the show, man. It was just beautiful. It's beautiful stuff, man. Yeah.
Man, cool story. Cool
Yeah.
story. So on that note, let's get into so after Soul Patrol, I think you resurfaced with Sounds of the City, right? I know you got married, you started
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Braden's stuff, and then Biscuit in there.
I I'll give it to you. I'll try to make it quick. After being with Proper Utensils, we got with Soul Patrol. Shout out to Scooter, who allowed me to grow as a percussionist, like you said, with the pad and the chimes and the bongos and he even let me play guitar on a
Oh
couple of
yeah.
songs. He really allowed me to just kind of grow a little bit. And so, we used to go to Scooter and be like, "Look, man, we got to do more with this band, man. We gotta record something, and we got to get on the radio." And I'll never forget, Scooter told me, he said, "Kenny, you need to quit the band." And
Oh my goodness.
I said, "Huh?" I said, "No, I don't need to quit." I said, "You need to fire everybody in here and get some new musicians in. We got some stuff that we got to do." He was like, "Kenny, you probably need to quit the band." I'm like, "Scooter, what are you talking about?" And he explained to me, and I
Gotta
didn't I didn't get it at the time. He said,
mhm.
"Kenny, you want more than I want right now. You want more, and there is something inside of you where you want more."
Yeah.
And Scooter was like, "I'm good with what we're doing." And I was like, "Oh man." So I got up the nerve. We was playing 3-4 nights a week. It felt like, and I
Mhm.
kind of just eventually kind of heard him, and I asked around. I don't know if I've ever told this story publicly, but I asked around, Chief, and I was just like, "Who's the baddest dude? Who's the baddest musician in DC?" And I kept asking around, and everybody told me Raheem Devon. Raheem
Mm.
Devon, he's the baddest dude. Okay, where is he? Oh man, he hang out at the Black Cat. He hang out at the Black Cat off of U Street. And I'm like, okay, all right. Saturday night, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go down there and check him out. Nope, Soul Patrol got a gig. Friday night, I'm gonna go see Raheem Devon. Nope, Soul Patrol got a gig. It eventually got to a point where I had to kind of just, like I said, I quit the band, um, and I went in my basement, Chief, and I practiced them Wan Wan Ko and them rhythms, and those and the slap and all the technique. I put in 6 months in my basement alone, going going in going in on my craft to the point where I was playing. I get up and I'm like, yeah, like that's it, like I'm ready. I'm like, where's Raheem? Where's
Right.
Raheem? Where he at? I'm about to go find him. And so finally the moment came, man. And I went down to Black Cat. I don't know who was performing, maybe Eric Roberson or somebody. And there was Raheem, man. And I went up to him and I said, hey man, I'm a percussionist. I've been asking around. Everybody tells me you're the baddest dude in DC, and I want to play for you. And he backed up. He looked at me. He looked me up and down, and he asked me a question. He said, "You got your own drums?" And I was like, "Yeah, I
What?
got. Yeah, what? They in the car. Like, let's go. What's up?
Right.
Like, I'm ready to go."
Right.
And he was like, "Hey, man." And so, long story short, he turned me on and connected me with Biscuit and his
Right.
band at the time. And shout out to Biscuit Bynum. Um, of all the musicians that I've played with, um, Biscuit has been the most influential drummer that I've ever played with. Played with some good dudes, but Biscuit really gets space, leaving me some room. He really got it. So I got with them. We were able to be play for Raheem a few years there, and then when everybody would come to Park nightclub, they would kind of hire us through Biscuit. They would, Angie Stone, Marsha Ambrosius, John B, um, and the list kind of goes. Rasan Patterson. They would hire us to be their band, and we would be their band, and we would get a little bit of money, not much. And after a while, we just kind of got to the point where, we would have hired help, and that's when we kind of formed Sound of the City, where we're the artists, we're the band, you know. And so we got into Sound of the City. We did some great stuff. We had some great recordings. It's hard to kind of get your stuff out there, but we did the best we could with that, and did that for many years, man. And then you name it, get married, and I had twins, and when I had the twins, just had to be home a little bit more to help around the house with that. So that kind of slowed me down a little bit, and just lately I just been spending a lot of time practicing, man, and just believe it or not, Chief, I spent a lot of time practicing on the actual drum set, a lot of time on that, just understanding what the drummer's doing, and then it kind of can help me as that percussionist, understanding where that little space is, and how to make things work as a percussionist. So that's kind of it in a nutshell, man. And it's been a great journey, man. Playing with Marcus Johnson and a lot of other folks, man. It's been a great journey.
Yeah, I've seen you on clips. I forgot you've been playing the drums a little bit more,
Yeah,
and I still got. I think the first Sound of the City, is it just the band?
just the band,
I
just
still
the
got
band.
that joint. You already
Yeah,
know. And the
just
remix, that the one with the remixes, and y'all was the music, and y'all took the yeah.
yeah,
I got both of them if that's a different one.
yeah. Two different ones, and I think it might be a couple others. But yeah,
Yeah.
the joint was tough. Countless. How I go,
Yeah,
Chief.
and I
Just
know that was like the first joint. So I like archive. I be finding stuff like, wow, I got Lost Jenna. I
yeah,
got, but
yeah, yeah, man.
and then so who'd you go overseas with that time? The boy Bond, who was that?
No, um, Frank McComb.
Frank McComb. Okay.
Yeah, I connected with Frank McComb. Uh, End up kind of being a little MD for him a little bit, even though, that wasn't my lane. But I was able to kind of pull together a band, Biscuit and Ice. RIP to Ice, a fantastic bass player who also played for Chuck Brown. Um,
Okay.
so yeah, we did some gigs with Frank McComb, And then I was blessed with the opportunity to go to Japan with Frank McCone, and we did you know, I don't know, maybe we did 4 or 5 nights at the Blue Note, and now you're talking like, you know, your music, you know, taking you around. We traveled a little bit with Raheem, but going to Japan, dude, like what are you talking about? Like, you know, and just the way you're treated, you know, just, and the money, and it just was a whole different, you know, vibe, and it was very cool and very interesting, and I learned a lot on that trip, man. I learned a lot.
That's cool, and that's what this is about, right? Talking to our movers and shakers. You know, some people popular, some people less popular. You know, you got some people here that's super big, heavy hitters, right? A lot of people don't even know they're here. They somewhere in the cut.
Yeah.
But as musicians, even, you know, unless you're playing with one of these top bands for years or all of them, right? Your name don't be as big. I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying? That's why I'm doing this, to get my name out there. But, you know, I like to bring people that I know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like, and show and highlight the fact that you've been to Japan, right? These musicians, we come from go-go.
Yeah.
We come from bucket. We come from, but Kenny, you know, has played, like he just said, with a lot of situations, even with the Raheem. But kind of just been a part of a lot of great moments. The Prop Utensils record, right?
Yeah.
KEWY. Are you on Rump Shaker? Or that's
no,
you?
No, I got it right after that. Yeah.
Right after that.
Yeah.
But still, just, you know, just you know, like to inform the people of things I know. And then when I talk to people, I find out more stuff too. But like, you know, we was in the car for hours, like you said, on them breaks, but it's been a while since we had that. And I'm watching, you know, the sports dad and baseball and man, everywhere. And it's a beautiful thing. And, you know, congratulations, proud. I'll be like, look at my man. That's my man. Hey, y'all. Hey, Kenny, that's a good dude, right? That's my man, you know.
I try.
Yeah, man, just like proud of you, and just wanted to, you know, bring you on here and share some of your story, and also you know, that D'Angelo part, which was great. That's what we needed, you know.
Well, look, thanks for the opportunity. Shout out to you and what you're doing. Keep pushing, and you know, everything I'm sure will fall into place as long as you keep putting that work in, man. So shout out to you, and keep doing what you're doing.
Yep. And might need you to come do the tribute for Shaquana at the HB reunion. I'm working on it. Might be top of the year. We're gonna do like a tribute and let folks come on up.
Yeah,
but that, you will have to be a part of that if you're available.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, I would love to. Thank you.
Yeah, my man. Salute to you, my brother. Like I said, I'm gonna do the live tonight and incorporate this in there somehow. And until the next time, my brother, stay safe and positive and keep it cranking.
Hey, you see my guy right there? You see him?
I see. Yeah. Hey, look. Yeah. Hey, look. I'm trying to tell you. That's how I knew.
Yeah.
That's how I knew. Yeah. Damn, man.
All right, man. Great. So thank you again.
All right, my brother. Holla.
Talk to you soon.
Peace.
All right.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Cheefing and going. We chiefing and going. I see we had a couple people watching. I didn't even make this live. I didn't mean to make it live. I just had to record this for my segment later. But appreciate everybody tuning in. That means you're a real Cheef and Go fan when you know, drop through with no no previous promotions or no notifications. Appreciate it. But definitely tune in tonight, 8 o'clock. It might be tonight while I'm playing this. Cheef and Go live. Keeping it cranking for the culture.
It's a vibe. 95, I pledge allegiance to the crank. Oh, as long as I'm alive. Cheef and Go.